Welcome back to my channel. If you crave stories packed with tension, betrayal, revenge, and raw emotion, you're exactly where you need to be. Today's story will stay with you long after it ends, so grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the fire. It started on a humid Monday morning, the kind where even the air in the office felt uneasy. I was reviewing figures when the glass door swung open. The chief financial officer walked in without knocking, face tight with irritation. He dropped a folder on my desk. "I need a public apology," he said. "For what?" I asked. "For undermining my department and creating unnecessary panic." I opened the folder. It contained the report I'd submitted a week earlier, the one exposing irregularities in our quarterly budget. What he called panic was, in truth, a warning sign of funds being mismanaged under one of his pet projects. Keeping my voice calm, I replied, "Sir, the report was factual." He leaned closer. "You went over my head. You embarrassed me. Fix it before noon." Then he walked out just like that. For a few minutes I sat staring at the folder, debating whether to comply. But an apology meant taking the blame for doing the right thing. And that didn't sit right with me. So instead of writing an apology, I opened my employment contract. I remembered a line buried in the fine print. Clause 14b, "No employee shall be coerced, intimidated, or penalized for reporting, in good faith, any suspected act of misconduct or fraud." A quiet smile crossed my face. At exactly 11:37 a.m., I drafted a short, polite email. Subject: Request for apology invocation of Clause 14b. Dear Chief Financial Officer, with respect to your request for a public apology, I must respectfully decline. As stated in Clause 14b of my employment contract, no employee shall be penalized for raising a legitimate compliance concern. I trust this resolves the misunderstanding. Kindly note this correspondence is copied to HR Legal and the Managing Director for Transparency. Regards, Jenny. I hit send. By noon, HR acknowledged receipt. Legal followed with, "Thank you for flagging this." And before the day ended, my manager quietly congratulated me for handling it professionally. The next morning, the CFO showed up again, calmer this time. "I think we both overreacted yesterday," he said stiffly. "Let's forget the apology." I nodded. "Of course, sir." Weeks later, the audit report was released. The discrepancies I'd flagged were confirmed. The CFO was quietly moved to a less visible department pending internal review. No one said why, but everyone knew. I didn't gloat or spread the news. I just sat in my office, grateful I hadn't folded under pressure. That incident taught me something simple but powerful. In corporate spaces, silence backed by documentation speaks louder than confrontation. You don't always have to raise your voice. Sometimes you just have to know where the rules are written. The CFO wanted my apology. Instead, he got accountability. And that day, I didn't just protect my job, I protected my integrity. Because when you stand by truth and the law stands with you, even power learns to respect quiet courage. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.